Welcome to the Simply Incredible Podcast. I am Daryl, a.k.a. The D, and this is T. Rizzle Troy Champney.
What's happening, man?
For those who don't know, our first live episode right here. Y'all are witness. We brought Connor with us because, he seemed like he wanted something to do tonight. And we trained right here in a martial arts school. What school is it?
Oh, it's The Edge.
There it is. Cool. So it's our first one live. Well, live recorded.
First live recorded. Yeah. Are you excited? I'm excited.
I'm excited about it.
I was a little bit unsure of it. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. I got a face for radio.
Well, we were going to have 3 people. One bailed, so that's why we brought Connor in.
That's why Connor's
here. So, Peasy next time, or Connor will be back, I guess. I don't know.
He might be a permanent guest on the show.
He might be a permanent guest. But I hear he's going to have a fight soon. The rumor's going around.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about it is it's nothing but a rumor right now.
Yep.
But it is picking up steam.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing about Conor McGregor is that he knows how to make noise.
Yep.
And if you make enough noise, well, who knows? Maybe it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I heard about it was Dana White. He was commenting that if he did end up getting the fight, it could mean $30 to $60 million for him. That's enough to make some noise about.
Yeah, I mean, but I keep hearing people say, well, it's not whether or not Floyd wants to fight, Floyd Mayweather, for those who don't know,
right.
Or Conor wants to fight. It's about, will Dana let it happen? And they're like, Dana's going to get his cut out of it.
That's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dana, I think that's probably why he made an official offer,
mm-hmm.
because he knows he probably could do this fight without me.
Yeah.
Cut me completely out.
Yeah.
Or I could take and have a big part of the the back end of this.
Oh, it's going to be a big pie.
Oh, it's going to
be a big pie.
Well, think about it. If he's getting 30 to 60 million, I mean, what kind of money is Floyd? Because Floyd's
they're talking 100 for him.
At least.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I just, my thing is, I don't see that many sales. I just don't.
I think you'll get it just from the spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
Because here, in their prime.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could argue.
Well, Floyd is not in his prime anymore.
Right. Well,
Connor definitely is.
From a media perspective, he is. From an athletics perspective, no.
Right.
But that kind of noise,
mm-hmm.
Connor and Ronda are the, biggest draws they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And it had to do with their performance, but it definitely had to do with, the amount of excitement they generated.
Yep.
Off camera. So Dana White, if he's smart, though, he'll take and do whatever he can to get behind it.
Well, one thing about Dana is he's always loved boxing.
Oh, yeah. He was boxing before, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe he's kind of like, well, let's let it happen.
I would like to see it. My whole thing about it is Conor's not even – he's not even in the same ballpark, let alone league. I mean, it's a different element. The one thing he is he's super accurate with the left hand.
Yep.
He can put it on people,
mm-hmm.
and it has knockout power.
Well, I've said this. I think Nate Diaz would have a better chance. He's got long length, and he just throws 1,000 punches around. And I think that would give him the edge over Conor.
Yeah, it could. The biggest thing with Conor is the fact that he is pacing himself.
Yeah.
If you look at Floyd is his stick and run.
Yeah.
So he runs. If you watch the Manny Pacquiao fight.
I did not. And for the rumor has it, I'm very happy I didn't.
It was a snooze fest because the whole time it was just him backpedaling.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the bike the whole time, which, I mean, here's the thing. I go back and forth. I don't know what your feelings is on this. From a sporting perspective, you look at that and be like, man, get in there and mix it up. That's
mm-hmm.
what warriors would do.
Yeah.
But you're talking about paydays.
Yeah.
You're talking about not just your future, but your family's future.
Yeah, he don't have to worry about that.
Well, he doesn't.
At this point, yeah.
But that got him there.
Yeah.
So
mm-hmm.
I don't know. If they go into it, I expect it to be, definitely Conor's not going to win this. He has a puncher's chance.
That's the only thing I was thinking. I think he's got the puncher's chance, but that's it.
Yeah.
Floyd. Sorry.
Yeah.
Floyd is so fast.
Oh, he's quick.
It's insane fast.
And, that's just a piece of the pie, his attributes. But he also, is one of the most technical and skilled boxer in the history of boxing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, here's this guy, this Irishman with a big mouth, and he's had some KOs, but literally look at who he's KO'd.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of champions, to be sure,
yeah,
but a whole list of nobodies, in relation to Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
So, I tell you what, though, I'll buy a ticket.
But I'm just gonna say this: I'm glad it's Conor and not Ronda Rousey like they were talking 2 years ago.
Oh man,
I was like,
Ronda Rousey, what, like fighting Floyd?
Y'all, that's what they kept saying. Like if they were in a fight,
yeah.
Ronda would beat him. I'm like, you're crazy, dude. Even if it, honestly, I don't know even if it's MMA.
I don't know, man. I'd almost put my money on Ronda if it was MMA.
I mean, but you think she could get through his fast punches?
Well, that is the entire question.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about it is that's why, when I started jiu-jitsu, one of the things that I really kind of locked onto, the teacher said, look, you might be maybe 6 months to a year of jiu-jitsu, and you're considered a beginner.
Yeah.
But if you take and grab on to a world champion striker and they're on the ground, they're not a world champion striker anymore. They're a day one jiu-jitsu student versus a 1 year jiu-jitsu student. They're going to get smoked.
I'll tell you something funny that happened way back in the day. There was a guy that came in and trained with us a few times. This guy ran like a marathon type runner. Doing stand up, he was good. I mean, he got a little bit winded, but when he went to the ground,
Dead.
He was, by the end of class, he was dead.
Can you say the name, or do you not remember?
I honestly don't remember. No. This has been 15 years ago, something like that. But I was like, wow, this guy's got cardio on top of cardio, but yet
it's different.
Yeah, I mean, I've told people that. I was like, it's different air.
It's different.
I mean, you're down on the ground. You're using muscles up here, legs, everything, abs, everything.
Yeah.
Your stand up, it's mostly arms.
Yeah.
You're running, it's almost all legs.
Well, and the thing about it, there's this thing called task specificity, and it means that whatever you take and put your repetitions in is the energy systems and the skill sets that you're going to take and get good at. So if you're a runner, you think about what that is. That's an even pace. If it's distance, I mean, for the most part. Even the little changes they put in, it's a different pace than a fight. A fight is more like an interval, sprint, slow, jog, sprint, and it's a constant changing. And then when you add the ground to it, okay, now you're in an anaerobic state where you're pushing against an immovable force. It's tough. We get guys like that all the time. They'll be so good at one thing, and they'll come in and try something out of their wheelhouse, and they'll be like, I've never been that tired in my life. And they're totally embarrassed too.
I've told people this. The best for me was, and it's kind of wrong for me to say, but it's true. There was a guy, he was a wrestler up at Liberty University. He was probably 6'4", weighed about 275. He's a wrestler, not a jiu-jitsu guy.
Okay.
All right, when it
way back in the day?
Oh, yeah. This is back probably Gold's Gym.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, this is around 2000, 2001.
Right. That's long.
I mean, didn't have a ton of knowledge at that time, but I knew enough to, I can go to my back. He did not know this. I mean, I would just have him in my guard, pose his arm, take his back. He would not do anything, and I just sit there and choke him. I literally choked a guy out, not completely unconscious, but to where he had to tap.
Right.
5 times in one round.
Totally, think about it, man. As much as they are good on the ground, their game ends when you demonstrate control with the back being pinned. That's like where we get started.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what I tell people is like, the fight ain't over right there.
No. It's funny though, because if that same situation were to happen to you now, it'd be a different ball game, because I don't know very many wrestlers who aren't at least savvy about the jiu-jitsu game. I mean, I've got a couple of wrestling coaches that train with us now, and in fact, one of them was just talking the other day. He has a wrestling kind of matted area in his house, and he had some of his team over, and they were going to take and do a little cookout and watch some stuff on TV, get a movie. And at one point, they started saying, "Hey, let's hit the mat room," and they started going in there. But you would think, this is the wrestling team, and the coach told me, he goes, we didn't wrestle though, we did jiu-jitsu. He goes, all we were trying to do is find chokes and arm bars.
Oh, that's awesome.
He goes, we weren't trying to pin anybody.
That
and
is awesome.
He goes, I got 3 of them now. They want to come over. And this
There you
morning,
go.
at 7 in the morning, I had a kid call me up. Hey, I want to know about jiu-jitsu. I was like, well, what do you want to know? I said, if I don't know the answer, I'll ask twice.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you something that's funny. That's one thing I've always known about you. You've always been the guy that's always thirsted for more knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so many people's like, I don't know, you know what, I'm going to fake it so this person thinks I know a lot. And you've always been like, you know what, if I don't know, I'll be back. Let me find out because I want to know now.
Yeah, I want to know.
And I love that.
I remember thinking back in the day, I actually got that from one of my teachers, that attitude, and it impressed me because this is the guy that should know everything. It was Frank Cucci.
Yeah.
And
Navy SEAL.
yeah, and he told me straight out, he goes, look, I don't know everything about everything, and if I don't know something, I will not BS you. I'll tell you straight up, he goes, and I'll find out. And I was like so impressed because to me, he did know everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? That's pretty good. We're connected with some of the top guys in the whole world. If I have a question, thank you for giving me a treasure hunt to go on.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, I like that.
Hey, speaking about that, do you kind of still feel like that with your collecting and stuff?
Oh yeah.
The hunt is more fun than actually sometimes finding it.
Yeah. Hey, I was telling somebody this recently. The Inhumans. I knew practically nothing about the Inhumans.
I remember we were talking. You didn't know
anything. And I was reading Civil War 2.
Yep.
They are kind of a big part in there. So I'm like, let me find out who these characters are.
Yeah.
And now I'm going back trying to find old issues and stuff, and I'm loving it.
Oh, it's some neat stories. It's kind of cool because I like what Marvel has kind of done with it. Since they can't use the mutants because Fox owns it,
Yeah.
that they're kind of making the Inhumans on S.H.I.E.L.D. The mutants.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of the angle of introducing mutants into the storyline.
On S.H.I.E.L.D.?
On S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
All right.
Now, I also...
Because I was going to say, the Inhumans are about to have their own show.
Right.
On Netflix.
On Netflix.
I can't wait for that.
Dude, are you going to take and go to the... what is it? The first 2 episodes are on IMAX or something?
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I assume it'll still be on. I mean, if it's just going to be on Netflix, I'll just wait and watch it there.
I don't know, man. I think that kind of neat idea to do that as a movie presentation. Unless it sucks.
Well, you won't
depends on what
find
the
out
ratings
until-
are.
yeah.
Well, do you want to still stay with the UFC? Or you want to move in? Because now I'm thinking Inhumans.
Well, let's go. We're going into the comics. Ronda Rousey. You retire if you want to. It's okay. And next.
We did have one big piece of news come out today, and you weren't real excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
UFC just announced that it's an official GSP versus Bisping for the middleweight title.
I actually did not even hear about that.
You didn't know about
that?
that? Will, I was talking to Will, and he was like, man, I wish he wasn't doing that. That's not going to excite me. And I was like, well, think about it. If he does it, then he'll have 2 titles in 2 different weight classes. You know, if he was going to make a play at it, and Anderson Silva's, with the super fight we always wanted.
Yeah.
This is a good route for him if he wants a belt.
And as much as I love GSP, one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
I hate that he's had how many years off now?
Oh, is it going on 3?
Yeah, no, this is his first fight back to title. I always want him to have a
warm-up.
a warm-up, then go for it.
Who would you think would be a good warm-up?
Dang, I don't even know who's in that division now. That's the sad part.
Yeah, maybe like Chris Weidman.
That would be a good rematch.
That'd be
no, he didn't have a match with him.
No, but it would be a good warm-up.
I was saying Silva. Yeah, that'd be a good match.
Because this is a guy who beat Silva, so I mean,
he's kind of on the way downwards though.
Oh,
Weidman.
Yeah.
And I like Weidman though. And
I like him a lot.
Maybe Silva can be his warm up.
I'll tell you what, if he beats Bisping, you'll see him fight Anderson Silva.
You think?
I know it. Anderson's got a lot of fights on his contract, and that one would make money. It's kind of disappointing though, because I mean, for me, the magic moment has already passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that was the same way with Pacquiao and Mayweather.
Well, even in MMA, Fedor and Randy Couture.
Yeah.
That was one I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Fedor. He's a champion, the emperor, But I always thought I'd really like to see him in the UFC circle, because sometimes, some of the Pride fighters, they came over and, they were talking like they were the best in the world, and they came over and a lot of them got
the only one that
spanked.
seemed to really do anything was Rampage. And that was pretty much it.
Vanderlei Silva, he was going to be someone that was going to be like...
I think by the time he got back, he was past his prime again.
Yeah. He's still pretty young, though. As much as he doesn't look it.
Yeah, well, as much plastic surgeries he's had.
Did you see what they did to his face?
Yeah.
Fantastic. He don't look the same.
I still remember him against Sakuraba, and he punted his head.
Oh.
I was like, gosh.
I also remember him in a UFC appearance against Vitor Belfort when Vitor did the ready, set, go, 50-yard dash down his face.
Sprint across and just jack across. I mean, just bam.
And big fight for the weekend. Wonder Boy versus Tyrone Woodley again.
Oh, there
Rematch.
Wait, hold on. There's a UFC on this week.
Or can you believe it?
I know. It's a weekend. Of course, there's at least one.
And you've heard about the 209 kind of backlash, right?
No, what's that?
All right, 209 is Stockton. If you listen to the Diaz brothers, whenever in there, they're going, Stockton, Stockton, doing all this kind of nonsense.
Oh, they would never use any profanity.
Dropping the F-bomb,
Yeah.
Stockton. Well, 209 is like their district, so it's like 209 and all this.
Yeah.
If they were smart, and this isn't an original thought. Joe Rogan was talking about this on his podcast, and he was saying,
We're the only podcast in the world.
Hi, Joe.
Hashtag Rogan.
Hashtag Rogan. But
Not Rogaine, by the way.
dude, I tell you what, I love his stuff, man. I listen to him all the time. But
I'm just gonna say this. He should start paying us because we plug him almost every week.
I can't help it. I'm a fan. I am a huge fan. The idea that he was talking about was that 209 would have been a great thing to have both the Diaz brothers, maybe Jake Shields, Gilbert Melendez, have that whole crew, have it in their hometown and make it a 209 like spectacle.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, because that's
And it's
them.
it's just another number on the thing. What a missed opportunity.
That really is. But could they actually? Well, they could because they have a California license. So they.
Oh, totally.
so they
San
could
Jose, I think,
yeah.
is real close to them. They could have done it there.
Right there in the Sharks Arena.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I think he fought Frank Shamrock. You remember that fight?
Mm-hmm.
I had no clue it would go like that. I was thinking that Frank would just overpower him too much, But oh, okay. It just didn't happen, and then all of a sudden, once he got gassed, and Nick looked like, dude, I just got warmed up. And then I think he broke his arm.
Really?
Yeah, I think he broke his arm
Yeah.
with a kick or something like that. So anyway, that's UFC. You got GSP coming back. That's the biggest news, and then Conor maybe leaving,
I would just say.
and Ronda leaving.
Yeah, Ronda. Yeah, I just didn't think she should come back for that title fight right away either. I mean,
That was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, even Dana, was like after the fight, he's like, yeah, we shouldn't have done that to her.
No, well, think about it. Her weakness was pointed out.
Yeah.
What was her weakness? The striking of Holly Holm.
Yeah.
And then you put her in with this beast.
Amanda Nunes, great day.
That girl is a legit, scary beast in the ring.
I mean, she was what? I mean, gosh, I can't remember what her record was in Muay Thai, but it was absurd.
Oh, yeah. And then you look at her, and there's no question. And to put Ronda in there against the same exact problem.
Now, did you think Holly beat her?
Did Holly beat?
No, she didn't fight Nunes. She fought 145.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, that was a good fight too.
Was it good?
I can't even think of the woman's name. It was a good fight.
All right, cool. That one might be something I have to go back and look at because I heard that it was worth watching anyway. I was really pulling for Holly.
I was too.
And
but on the flip side, I was like, "There's Cyborg right outside. Could probably come and beat both of them at the same time."
I think Cyborg though is not even trying to make that weight. If they don't come up to a weight,
I
she
think
said it almost
at
killed her.
at 145.
Yeah, well that's
Not
it.
not 135. I'm talking about the 145 title.
Oh, gotcha. I got
When
you. I got
Holly was fighting for the 145 title.
I got you.
And Cyborg was like, yeah, she said in an interview, she said if they had given her another month, she would have been ready. But as it was, she could not make it wait for them. She could not be ready. She
said that the weight cut on the last one, she had a lot of physical problems that resulted from it.
Oh, they did a thing on ESPN about weight cuts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
stupid.
some of the stuff that they do, I just don't understand. I mean, it was Chael Sonnen. He was like, well, I cut 21 pounds in 24 hours one time. Like, dude, for me, that's nothing to brag about. But all these people that cut weight, that to them, that's probably something to brag about.
Well, you look at Tito. That's one of the reasons he was so dominant.
Yeah.
He came in all the time
Yeah,
and could cut weight. And
he
then
was so much bigger than
Always.
everybody.
Do you remember him fighting Shamrock in one of the rematches? And when they were up against the cage,
Yeah.
he looked like he was fighting a little guy.
Yeah.
And Shamrock is huge.
Yeah.
Now, I've stood by both of those guys. Tito's a giant. I mean, honestly, it's like this kind of relation with the head. I mean, he's just...
I was gonna say, if Tito were right here, he could sit in between us, and we would still be covering up part of his head on each side. And Tito's my boy. Love you, Tito.
He had a big head.
And hey, by the way, happy retirement, Tito.
Yeah, and great match, that final match with Chael. Chael looked like he hadn't been in training, not a lick.
Well, he was just training talking. That was his training.
But if you look at him pre-fight for some of his other ones when he was just shredded,
Yeah.
and then you looked at here, he had kind of a dad bod.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this could be
He
bad.
looked like
That could be
I've heard
bad.
a lot of people say that he just tanked it. I just don't believe he would.
I don't think so. I think Will even he believes it's a work.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, if you saw the ghost tap it, there's enough to make you have a moment of pause.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't want to believe that happened.
Yeah.
You know. It's like, dude, that's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else we got on the show today?
Let's see. Nothing else I can think of in the fight game.
No.
Comic books. Lots of comics.
Comic books. Now this is our
Oh wait, you know what? Let's talk about this first.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Comic area Wolverine. Well, Logan. It's coming out next week.
this week.
This
It's coming
weekend.
out. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell.
You know what? Y'all are used to it by now from us. Just now you get to see it. But I'm so excited for this. So excited. I know you said last week.
My
I
concerns.
had a little trepidation.
Yeah.
Big word. And
But I am encouraged by the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
The reviews are outstanding. I think the first thing that I saw that was released on Rotten Tomatoes was 96. And I think
Dang.
it's still holding at 94, which is really good because when the overseas guys see it, even if it had that high number, if it was a bad movie, they would
Yeah.
start to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably one of the highest reviewed X titles ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the Avengers, when they first came out, was a 97 rating on Rotten Tomato, and it came down, I guess, to 92.
So I've got to actually learn about X-23 because I had heard that that's Wolverine's daughter. Then later on, I heard no, she was genetically engineered to be the next Wolverine.
Oh, I got you.
Not actually his daughter. So I was thinking, well, who's the mom?
Right,
But
right.
apparently it's
A
test tube
petri
baby.
dish.
Yes.
Well, it's sad because, here is Hugh Jackman's last appearance as Wolverine.
Yeah.
And Patrick Stewart just said that it was going to be his last go around as Professor X. And everyone can be like, oh, it's sad, but I mean, the guy's done it for going on 20 years now, right? 17? 2000 was the first X-Men,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Wow.
Something like
Somewhere
that.
in that ballpark. Like, wow, it has been a long time.
That's a lot of Professor X.
That's a lot of movies.
But he's literally looks like he was born to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
in every sense.
it's like who could they have to replace him? I mean, I guess McAvoy, but
he's good though. I
he
like
is,
McAvoy.
But man,
There's something about that guy I really, really liked in First Class that I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in.
yeah,
Did you see his new movie Split?
I have not.
It looked a little lame to me at the beginning, and then the more previews I saw, I was intrigued. That's supposed to be a pretty good one.
All right,
Supposed to be a good one.
I have to look into that.
But for Logan, the one thing that I'm really hoping for, and I know I'm going to be disappointed, and it's a crime, is for Logan to have a real Wolverine uniform, before he signs off, before
That
Hugh Jackman.
old school.
Like the yellow,
Yeah.
or my Wolverine that I kind of was introduced to when I started reading as a kid was the brown.
Yeah,
The one he wore, in Japan and all that. If he just one time put that thing on,
they showed it. And he was like, no.
dude, what?
Didn't they show the outfit one time? He looked at it, was like, yeah, no.
Who, like Hugh or the character?
The character in the movie, didn't he?
No. What they said was after, like in the very first X-Men, they're in the Blackbird, and he said, "What are these things?" About the black leather.
Yeah,
And he goes, "What? They're uniforms." And he goes, "You'd prefer yellow spandex?"
that's it. That's right. Yeah.
But there was a cut of, I don't know if it was a end of the credits or a deleted scene, whatever. But in the Wolverine, his last outing, his mainstay title, there was actually a case that they opened up, and in that case was a Wolverine outfit, and it's legit looking. I mean, it was like, okay, that's no more out there than Captain America or Thor. I mean, Thor's wearing a big red cape. Do we think anything of it? No, it works.
Yeah.
That's the character. I never did understand the Wolverine, face, bat, shape to his mask. I was like, why did they do that? The only thing I could ever come up with is a samurai thing.
I guess I have no. As I remember seeing that, like, I honestly never thought twice about it. I was like, I just accept that. That's what they're doing.
Okay. Well, My thing is, if he never gets a chance to wear that, it will be a crime.
I wonder if
Because I know he wanted to.
Oh, really? Jackman wanted to?
Yeah,
Because that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Huh.
The reason I think that a lot of the guys didn't is because they. I just read something about this where I can't remember who directed the last one that he did.
I never know who. It wasn't Singer, I'm sure.
Was it Darren? I can't remember. Anyway.
Comment below.
Yeah, really. They got this thing called Google. We're not sure how to use it yet, but we'll get back to you on
We've
it.
been working on that for well over a year now.
The reason is that he thought that wearing a uniform is a little narcissistic and attention drawing, like look at me. And Wolverine is the anti look at me.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I just can't put him in that and have him kind of. And I'm like, whatever, put him in the outfit, man. Put him in the outfit.
Put him in the yellow or brown, whichever.
Anyway, now, hey, this is our first podcast. Didn't you say that you wanted to take our first podcast video that you wanted to maybe start with the first superhero, maybe kind of look back at the beginnings?
The one for me that I always kind of associate with being the first comic book superhero, and that would be Superman.
Yep.
I mean, from way back in Action Comics. Was it 27?
Action.
Not 27.
No, Action was his first.
I mean, Action. What issue?
Action 1.
Was it Action 1?
Yeah,
That's
was
right.
him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because it was Detective 27 for Batman. That's where I'm at.
And Amazing Fantasies 15 was
Wonder Woman?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes. Wonder Woman was like something sensational. Sensational.
The Wonder Woman was?
Yeah. Like Sensational Tales or something like that.
Oh, I know that. I think they introduced Thor with Tales of Suspense.
Tales of Suspense.
Yeah. Which is kind of cool that they all did that and then they took off and became like this thing. Yeah, I did.
Now, which comic book would you rather have? Superman, Batman, Spider-Man?
First appearance?
First appearance.
Superman.
Really? With
Hands
that
down.
iconic cover?
It just, that's the holy grail.
Yeah.
If you had Superman #1, I remember being a kid thinking about that. It's like, man, to have that.
I'll tell you a comic I think I might pick over those, and I know this is blasphemy. I'll say it, is Batman #1. Not the first appearance, Batman #1.
Yeah, I can get
It's
that.
got
Hey,
first Joker.
He was the first one in Batman.
First Catwoman. First, I want to say Hugo Strange also.
Really?
Yeah.
All in that same issue?
All in that same issue.
Wow. I did not know that.
I just looked that up the other day because somebody had a video of it and they had that, and I'm like, I hate you very much right now.
I remember being a kid and getting an oversized issue of Action 1, Action Comics #1.
Yeah.
And I remember, I mean, I was young. I was like 5 or maybe 6. But I thought I'd had like the greatest luck in the world where I'd found the first Superman copy. And that's where I learned about second printings.
Yeah. Well, in that case, like 47th printing.
Was that the first hero that you read? Was Superman?
No, that's just the first one that I associate with comic books.
Sure. Now, what was the first one you read, though?
Batman.
You read Batman before you read Superman?
Now, let me ask you this. I hear people saying, well, he's not really a superhero.
Oh, baloney. No,
There you go. See, I totally agree with you. He was like, dude, look what he does. Like, he's just a rich guy with a lot of cool gadgets.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. He doesn't have to have superpowers to be a super heroic person.
Right.
You know? It's like, dude, no, shut up. People talk that trash. Batman's legit. That was the best line in Lego Batman.
I have not seen that yet, but I'm
not.
to say it. Go ahead and say it.
You've
ruined it for me.
I know.
Spoiler.
Sorry.
La.
When he goes like this, he's saying something, and he goes, "Oh yeah, what can we agree on?" He goes, "Iron Man sucks." I thought that was priceless. I was like, that literally made me giggle. That made me giggle. Superman, I think, was probably the.
I'll be laughing about that for a few minutes.
That's
now.
good, right?
Yeah.
But Superman was like the first superhero that I think I ever really read.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as a kid, he might have been the first one I ever saw, but I don't think it was through comics at first. I think it was through the old TV show.
Now, the Super Friends?
No. The George Reeves black and white.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have that on DVD at home.
Oh, dude, I loved that as a kid.
Now, there's one thing that always cracked me up about it. The bullets.
And then dodging.
And then they throw a gun at him, and he just ducks. The bullets, he just stood there, all punched out, chest out, gun. Oh.
Dude, they should have made a sponge gun
I was like,
and thrown it like boink.
Now, could they have made that back in the 40s?
Yeah.
Oh, was that 40s? Or was that 30s? I think 40s. It had to be 40s. The 30s is when it was.
I don't
it
even think
actually
they had
was
talkies yet.
time. We have Charlie Chaplin.
Hey, did you ever watch any of the old serials?
Which ones? Because I know we talked about some one
Yeah,
time.
we've talked about them before.
There's
but
an old.
there's a Superman.
Yeah.
There's a Batman.
Batman. I remember the old Batman one.
Captain
yeah.
America.
No, that's the one I watched. It's Captain America because he had a gun.
Yeah, he had a gun.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
that's blasphemy.
but I liked it because in the comics he did too.
Yeah.
But
Now, did you know in the original Batman's, he was a bad guy, kind of? He had like guns and stuff, and he wasn't afraid to kill somebody.
now, what are you talking about? The comics or the
Yeah,
serial?
the original comics.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that either until I was watching a video and they were talking about it. I was like, wait, what?
Really?
Batman killing somebody? You can't know.
You know what though? That whole idea of an anti-hero, it's like, yeah, that works.
Mm-hmm.
That works good,
Should have got more water.
dude. Well,
Training martial arts make a man thirsty.
make a man thirsty.
And me too.
Oh, well, the rest of us.
The real manly men.
I remember when they had on VHS, way back in the day when Blockbuster was still around.
Yeah.
They started having these like real cheap clearance bins.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I ever saw any of these cereals. You could buy like, it was a 2-pack of Captain America 1940 cereals, for like $3.
Really?
And I was like, oh, heck yes, I want to see
Man,
that.
is like at Walmart and stuff like that?
Well, they had them in Blockbuster, and then eventually they did start having them. And then they had
I don't
this.
remember.
You don't remember?
No.
those?
It's just I just didn't go in Blockbuster very much. I always went into Walmart because I always had that big, huge bin.
You didn't go into Blockbuster much?
I didn't. No, sorry.
You didn't rent?
I like to apologize. No. I mean at the time I didn't. I was the poor kid. I didn't even have a DVD player for a long time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we had VHS by the time Blu-ray was coming around.
Now let me tell you. Let me give you.
And Peasy is over here with his 4K whining about Doctor Strange.
I know, right? Let me give you a little scoop on him. I remember back in the day when you were talking about on Tuesdays,
Yep.
you would get all giggity.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? Oh, I'm gonna go buy this. Well, after like 3 months of this, I was like, on Tuesdays, do you get a new release DVD every
Yep.
Tuesday? And you're like, every
Tuesday.
and sometimes more than one.
Yeah.
Now, how many movies do you have still?
Oh, man.
Like, still have tons, or did you get rid of a bunch?
I've got I never got rid of any of them.
Oh, good, yeah.
I've got a ton of them. I put them in storage bins. I have 12 full storage bins.
Storage bins that you don't go into.
Oh, I
and-
do. I mean, every now and again I go through them like I want to watch a movie. I'm digging into them. I got to move this one to get to this one. On the outside, I have them all in alphabetical order.
Okay.
So I have a
okay.
little sheet on the end of it. This goes.
So you know where they
This
are.
goes from like the number 0,
Right.
all the way up through like B or something like that, and then the next one starts, like that. So I know where they are.
Dude, I had this guy build me bookshelves that were specifically sized for DVDs.
Oh, I remember when you had VHS.
Yeah, oh, dude, way back.
Yeah.
Way back. That's when we used to bootleg everything.
Yeah. Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Look it up, kids.
Oh, good
Bigfoot
stuff.
and Wild Boy. I remember we come to your house watching that. Scott was like, "This is ridiculous." I'm like, "This is pretty awesome. What are you talking about?"
Don't you have that in you to love something that's that bad?
Yeah.
It's just so ridiculous that it's cool.
One almost
Sharknado, I
I was
mean,
about to
right?
say one, nearly 2 words. Sharknado.
Yeah, right.
I love that.
But it's tongue in cheek on purpose.
Yeah.
Now, what's really fun about those is that they're not on purpose. They were making an effort.
Oh yeah, Bigfoot and Wild Boy.
Yeah, they were trying.
Well, how big an effort can you make when like 3 times an episode you run through the same 2 trees?
Okay. I'm not saying there wasn't budget constraints, but I remember thinking whenever they would angle the camera diagonally, and I was like, man, he's running so fast, like he's running on the side of that mountain.
Yeah.
And I was like, I bought it.
I mean, old $6 million man.
Oh.
Oh gosh, I just love when he started running. You hear that sound.
You know what's crazy though? Visually, all we ever watched was the Lee Majors run in slow motion.
Yeah.
It's not like, the Flash today. He's.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, dude, watching him, I was like, this guy maybe really can run that fast.
Maybe he's really
He
slow.
just ran up the side of a building.
No. Dude, I loved it. As a kid, were you a big Steve Austin fan?
Oh my goodness. Now, for those who don't know, Steve Austin was a $6 million man before there was a Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
A lot of people think, why are they talking about the wrestler now? Nope, different character.
I think they had
Lee
this,
Majors.
Right. They had this like kind of a reunion show,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was called The $6 Billion Girl.
Really?
And you know who the girl was?
No.
Sandra Bullock.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, was that with?
It was like made for TV.
I mean, was it $6 Million Man and?
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah. It was
the Bionic
Lin-
Woman together.
Lindsay Wagner and Lee
Uh-huh.
Majors.
By the way, the comic book,
Good.
the Bionic Woman and Wonder Woman 77.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Really?
That is fun.
Dude, what about I just saw something the other day. I mean, you know, Archie Comics.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a TV show called Riverdale.
Really? You know, I think I know that a new comic just coming out. I didn't realize there was a TV show coming out.
I think there's a TV show.
What
I
is
haven't
it?
seen it, but you know, I didn't know if you'd heard anything about it.
I had not heard anything about that.
Would that be something you'd be interested
I
in?
would.
I
And
would too.
I'll tell you what, there was a 4-issue series that came out maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It was Archie versus Predator.
I saw that and I didn't get it
Uh-huh.
because I wasn't sure if they were going to draw Archie just like some redheaded teenager, but not the Archie we knew.
No, it was Archie, Betty, Veronica, Jughead. It was the whole crew.
They also had something like Archie Dies.
Yeah.
And
then they have him like coming back as like zombie Archie and stuff.
Or going
it's
to the
called-
spirit
It's called
world.
Afterlife.
Yeah, Afterlife.
Yeah,
That's
Afterlife.
it. That's it.
I think that series is actually still going. I believe.
Don't get me started on near-death experiences.
No. we'll get doing that one day. We will do that again one day because we've gone through some of that before.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you. I love talking.
You know what? I will say this. Peasy's not here. He will no longer sway you.
Oh, about the aliens?
About everything. He's
I
like,
changed my mind. They're real.
he's like this. Goes, yeah, man, they really exist. Oh, they don't exist because he said so.
Oh, shut up, man. You throw me under the bus.
And then it backed over you.
Well, the way I look at it is like this. There is so much of me that wants to believe all of those.
Yeah.
But the older I get, the less hope I hold on or hold out for that it's going to take and be legit. It's going to, come up. Like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, aliens. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. There's just so little, of anything reliable at the information pinnacle we're at right now. It's like, dude, what the heck? We can't find a big walking monkey in the woods.
2 words. Chew. Baka.
Dude.
I want to drop my mic, but it's kind of. No, I'm not going
Don't
to
drop
drop
it. You
it.
bruise yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's like
Don't do that.
Mic drop.
Mic drop?
Speaking of mic drops, have you seen that one commercial where the dude drops the mic like 75,000 times in a commercial?
Put it
I
this
hate
way.
it with a passion.
I do, and my son Connor loves it.
Like, oh gosh.
He's like, "Did you see that guy dropping the mic down?" I was like, "Yeah, Connor, I saw it."
Yeah. And look, he did it again.
They did it again.
And he's still dropping the mic. Then he come back. Then his second commercial, he comes back. He's trying to drop the mic, but people keep asking questions. He's like, my arm's tired. Mic drop.
He goes, "I have no more mics." Connor, we're pumped up because for the winter, the movies have been pretty bad. Choices for us to go out every Friday night. We do guys' night.
Yeah.
My boy Connor, he's 13 years old.
Who's been on the podcast?
Yeah, and since he's been like 5 or 6, we've had guy night on Friday night, and we go out to dinner, go get go to a movie, and go home. And he is so pumped that we're through with the dry spell and going on with Wolverine or Logan. But you know what else has him just utterly pumped? Power Rangers.
Yeah. Because I
Power
literally was
Rangers.
about to say Iron Fist because that comes out in a couple weeks.
Dude, I cannot wait for that. Are you excited that do you think they're gonna do it good?
I know very little about
Nothing?
the character, but
I have to be honest, I do too. I know
I
very
talked
little
to
about
Dennis
Danny.
because that's one of his characters.
Yeah.
And he's, well, I guess we'll find out.
Is that what he's like?
I don't know because it's funny. We really never talked about it. I literally said we talked about it. Then I thought, you know what, we actually have not talked about that.
No, and I don't have a whole lot to say
Sorry,
about
Dennis.
it.
I kind of sold you out there. I apologize.
I don't have a whole lot to say about
Yeah.
it though. I just don't know a lot about it.
I got a pop vinyl for Iron Fist today. If that helps.
No, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. But I didn't know. I don't know why. It did not, because it wasn't superhero to me.
Yeah.
It was a kung fu guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I did kung fu.
I was about to say you should have liked it.
I was like, no, if I want a kung fu story, I'll go watch David Carradine. Yeah, I'll watch Kane walk the earth.
It's Bruce Lee. It shouldn't be Carradine. It should be Bruce.
It should have been Bruce. But the idea of having a kung fu comic. I was like, so what? He's just really good at kung fu. I don't know. It just didn't strike me.
Yeah.
Like they had another one, Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
Master of Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
I could have cared less, and I've got a bunch of them because people always used to. They're like, Troy, I love this.
Yeah.
You know, I got this Iron Fist, but thank you so much. Bloop.
What was that one we were talking about last week? Samurai Cowboy. What was that?
Shaolin Cowboy.
Shaolin Cowboy. Any interest?
Yeah.
I have interest in it, but it's gonna be one of those. It might be done after issue 1. Then again,
Yeah,
it might
maybe.
be one I just go through the run.
Isn't it funny? The older we get, the more not only open
Mm-hmm.
to something new and
Yep.
just crazy like that,
Mhm.
but like almost searching for it.
Yeah.
It's like, show me something I haven't seen, you know? Shaolin Cowboy was one. There was another one, I think it was called Copperhead.
Yeah, I remember that from like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah.
You know, and what that was, if you haven't read that, that's a really good series to take and look into. It's basically a outer space cowboy story. You know, so that on these
Did
planets,
he wear rhinestones?
Of course.
Like a rhinestone cowboy?
Like a rhine's. No, he didn't.
He almost sung on live cam.
Dude, when I was a kid, I used to love that song.
Yep.
I remember
that way back in the day.
I remember we had this friend that took us down to this like little cafe, and there was a jukebox there, and Rhinestone Cowboy was in there. We're like, put it in, Ralph, put it in money. I want to hear my song.
Now let me tell you a comic I just read. Came out last week. The Old Guard.
Nope.
Really, really good.
What's it about?
It's about it's like this crew. It's this woman. She leads this crew, and this guy comes up to her and he goes, and she's like, they're never working for the same people twice, yeah. And so this guy calls me. She's like, I don't think we should. But then she goes, you know what? I'll go talk to him and see what's going on. And somebody's kidnapped a bunch of girls at a school.
Okay.
And they killed all the teachers and everything. So she's like, all right, we'll take this. And the guy's like, how much will it be? He goes, when we get back, I'll bill you. And so, I'm not going to give any more than that.
It's called The Old Guard.
The Old Guard just came out last week, issue 1. So
And you liked it?
I did like the first one.
That sounds like there was this TV show that.
Mercenaries. That's the word I was looking for, like Mercenaries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there was this guy. It's called Stingray. Ray Mancuso played him, and
Good actor.
oh, loved him, man. That show Stingray is one of those lost gems. It's like, why didn't this thing do it? You know, like why didn't it become like big like A-Team or something like that? It just didn't. It failed to find that kind of a big audience. But what he would do is he was like this super secret agent thing that would always help people in need.
Secret agent, man.
Yeah, but the thing that he
Yeah,
would do,
I can't sing too.
he wouldn't charge them money. They'd say like, well, how do I pay you? He goes, you don't. And they go, well, what do we do? And he goes, one day I'm going to come to you and I'm going to ask for a favor. And whatever it is, you must do it.
Oh.
And they would work that gimmick into every episode where he would need help and there'd be somebody that he had helped before and he says, hey, I need to call in my favor.
Oh.
That's neat, right?
You know, on a TV show, that's a great thing because, everybody's on that episode, they're like, well, that means I'm going to get at least one more episode.
Oh, totally. I'll tell you this, though. They had one of the absolute best moments of TV for me ever. One of the things that made me really, really love Wolverine was that you didn't know his past. All right? That mystery always made me want to buy the next comic book so that they might give me another little piece of the puzzle. Because he was constantly searching. They blocked my memory. I need to find it. I need to go up north, whatever. That idea is golden if it's written right.
Yeah.
And they did that with Stingray. They would never tell you too much about him. Just a little tidbit so you're coming back the next day. One of these days, he goes to this town, and there's something going on, where people are missing or dying. And he's been called in, to kind of look in from one of the ladies whose brother died. So he goes there, and there's this crazy guy, like a homeless man, who in the middle of what would be their Times Square in this little Mayberry town, like the main part of town, he's sitting there, and he's got an old baseball glove, and he's pitching like an invisible baseball game. And you're like, okay, no big deal. Well, Stingray Ray thought that he might have some information because, he'd been seeing stuff. So it was the neatest way. Instead of going up to the guy and talking to him, because the guy was obviously, crazy. I mean, he was touched. But instead of just going up to him and asking him, what he did was he walked up and squatted down like the catcher. And when this guy looked at him, he kind of looked at him like, what is this guy doing? And he gave him like little, the signals for the pitch. And he threw it, and, they start playing back. And then all of a sudden, Ray stands up, no ball or anything, stands up, calls time to the, to the ump, and walks out on the mound. And he says, how you feeling? He goes, good, man. He goes, arm's feeling a little bit rough right now, though. Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, look, this guy's a sucker for the inside. He goes, I know he pulled the last one. Yeah, and he's having this conversation with him. And he goes, look, before I go back, I need to ask you something to make sure that we can get on. And he asked him the question. And the guy was like, all right, you're playing my game, I'll play yours. And he gave him some little information. And then when he started talking to the guy, he started saying, hey, you were in Nam, weren't you? And the guy, because he had a jacket on, Army jacket, and he goes, yeah? He goes, I was over there, and they started bonding, and he goes, who are you? And Ray does this, and this is gold. He looks around to make sure nobody's there. He goes, you want to know who I am? And he goes, yeah. He goes like this, and he whispers into this guy's ear. Uh-huh. And this is what the guy's face goes. He's like, and he goes, shh, and walks off. You do not know what he said, but it was just a golden moment. I was like, okay, I'm watching this show forever. I want to know who you are. Isn't that gold?
Wow, because in my mind, how far into this show was this episode?
Oh man, probably. I mean, like,
because I'm thinking
middle of the first season.
That would have been a great way to end it right there.
Oh, that's terrible.
No,
what is that? Dude, I actually found a guy back in the day when we used to do tape trading, because I missed it. And back then, if you didn't have a VCR and didn't tape it, there was no internet to find out. Hey, did you guys see what happened?
Yeah.
Couldn't find out anything, and this guy sent me the entire series on VHS.
There you go.
So I just vegged out, and just gold.
Now, how long ago was that?
Oh man, back probably in the late '90s.
Man, that is what we do now with TV shows now. Just sit there, wait for Netflix, and then watch them all.
All right, what's your favorite? To binge, watch all of it, or take and spread it out and savor it?
I would rather binge, and the reason is
there's too much to do.
I don't like having to wait a week between episodes and stuff like that. Like I'm doing right now with Walking Dead. It's like, I want to see it. I want to see it now. But on the flip side of it, I don't want to wait till it comes out before I can see them like that.
It's hard because, like, some of the times, like, I know that we're going to talk about them on the podcast, like with Daredevil and Jessica and Luke Cage and all these guys. I'll admit, it's daunting to know, okay, I have a homework assignment. We're going to talk about this on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I have to take and watch this whole, series. Mm-hmm. And it almost pisses me off a little bit.
I would say that the only time that it bothers me is if I don't like it.
Now, have you not liked something from the Marvel?
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying there have been shows in the past that I've started binging and I don't like it, but it's like, you know what? I feel like I need to watch it anyway just because everyone says it's good.
Do you have any examples?
Lost.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. I made it through into season 4, I think. Whenever Kate and Sawyer was in the cage and they were throwing things and like
the
biscuits were coming out, and I'm like, and then the scene that made me just go, that's it, I'm done, is when Sawyer gets out of the cage and gets in her cage. I'm like, why don't y'all just get out and leave?
I know it.
And I was like,
I remember that. I was like, why are you getting into another cage?
I was like, yeah, I'm done now.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's probably right where it started getting convoluted and made me like, what? Right around that part of the series. Mm-hmm. But I stuck it out, and I wish I hadn't. I was like, you liars. They did not answer a single. I'm about to cuss. I'm about to lose the PG rating on this thing. They did not answer a single flippin' question.
Dag nabbit.
Dadgummit. I was so pissed off that night when they all came out
You
afterwards.
seem to be slightly displeased.
I was mad. But they come out on the stage afterwards, and you could tell they were like, all right, now look, don't hate us. We didn't write it.
Oh, gosh. You know it's rough when that happens.
Everybody was like, really? Really?
Now,
That's how you ended it?
Did they ever talk about, tell you what the smoke monster was in the first
No.
season? Oh, gosh.
And that, no lie, it's so funny that you mentioned that. That was one of the questions I wanted answered more than anything. I wanted to know the smoke monster, and I wanted to know about that big statue with like 4 toes.
I don't even remember a statue. Maybe I didn't get to that part, or maybe I just blurred right past it. I don't know.
All it was they were in a boat going around the island to try to get either toward, rescuing the other, from someone from the others, or getting away from them. And they'd never been on this side of the island, and all of a sudden there is a statue. Imagine the Sphinx standing up, that kind of big.
Really?
Yeah, huge. And you don't see anything except like maybe from mid-calf or the ankles down. And I think the question was, did you see how big that statue was? And it was like, did you notice that it only had 4 toes on each foot? Like, what kind of race of giants or aliens is this?
The big thing is it's got 4 toes. That's the big thing.
Well, think about what they were saying.
It's just funny to me to hear that.
Totally, because you're thinking, okay, maybe there's an alien race, of 4-toed giants. Because that would be,
For those who don't know, every now and again, I have to show him how much time we have left.
Boy, I tell you what, that chicken scratch is, I'm glad you did it the 3rd time.
Yeah, the first 2, I couldn't even read it.
Well,
but then again, that's really my good handwriting right there. For those who don't know, there you go. But you probably can't see it, and you're better off not being able to.
It's pretty much hieroglyphics.
Well, yeah.
I bet you them 4-toed alien giants
They
did
know,
that with their pinky toe.
They know what's going on. But one thing I do want to talk about before we leave tonight,
right?
Bill Paxton.
Oh, rest in peace,
man.
I'm glad you brought that up.
One of the first things I remember seeing him on, and I didn't even realize this was him until later on.
I know what you're gonna say.
Terminator.
Yeah.
Wasn't he right there at the beginning with that gang at the beginning?
With that big mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Punk rocker.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Now, what are some of the movies you think Bill Paxton?
Weird Science.
That one. That was like the one for me.
You're stewed, buttwad. I mean, I was like,
Chet, and then at the end they turn him into this look like a big pile of poop or something.
When I first saw it, I was like, what did they just turn him into? I'm pretty sure that's a character. Like I think that's Slimer from Ghostbusters, but he got sunburnt.
They stuck him in
big pile of crap.
And he exploded and got burnt.
That's an awesome movie too.
Mm-hmm.
That's honestly in the 80s one of my favorites.
It is. I mean the scene where the kids get taken to the bar.
For goodness sake, would you cover yourself? It's like I don't want to see that much of you, Bill.
He kicked him in the family jewels.
Dude. That's right, Letha.
That was one scene I lost it in watching that.
That whole movie was great. Robert Downey Jr.
Yep. That was back when I'm pretty sure he was drugged out pretty good.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. He was Less Than Zero.
I love that movie.
Dude,
Less Than Zero.
That's rough though when you walk in on him and he's like trying to earn some money. I was like,
yeah.
Delete.
I thought that was a great movie. But back to Bill. Twister,
fantastic.
I just remember that cow flying by.
Yep. We have cows. Didn't you think when he did that, like, oh man, he's the main star? Because he was always a co-star.
Mm-hmm.
That was like his first, like, let's give Bill the keys. Let him run with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was really, really excited for him because I was a fan already.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's gonna go big. That's good. And that movie I loved.
Mm-hmm.
Helen Hunt too. There's something about her that I find just drop dead sexy.
Yeah, no.
I'm telling you, I don't think
Did you like her with Paul Frazier?
No.
And,
In fact, I hated that show.
I can't even think of the name of the show, but I hated that
like
show.
Mad About You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I did like him in that show, My Two Dads.
Oh, yeah.
I did
Greg
like that
Evigan.
show. Yeah, I like that show.
What was Greg Evigan known for before that?
He ate a pizza on television.
No. BJ and the Bear.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
And I knew you would know
Yes,
that because
BJ
Daryl
and the
is a
Bear.
hillbilly, man. I bet you were a CB talking monkey on that thing.
What was it? They said,
You were Bear. This is Bear.
You remember Mallrats? Just put a movie, whatever happened to movies with bears in it. a man and his bear, or monkey, a man and his monkey.
A man and his monkey.
A man and his monkey. I was like, that was awesome.
I used to love that show though. Mm-hmm. They had a whole big spin-off, that Sheriff Lobo and that whole thing.
Yeah.
Now, good stuff. That's definitely 70s gold.
Yeah. Gold, Jerry. Gold. What else Bill Paxton in?
Aliens.
Yes.
Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah,
love that.
That quote I saw all over Facebook this week.
Why don't you put her in charge, man? Oh, I loved that. Do you remember watching that for the first time, Aliens, and how just like, oh my gosh, that was awesome. And that's another guy that I wish would be bigger.
The mouth opened up, and then another mouth pops out, and it's like drool coming down.
That's nasty. If I'm ever like up and like maybe on AMC or one of those kind of channels, and all of a sudden up next, Alien with Sigourney Weaver, I'm watching it, and I don't care even if it's 12:30 at night and I got to get up early.
That's the movie.
That's one of them.
Okay, what is the movie?
Jaws.
You hate Jaws.
I watch it without fail. If it's on TV, I'm like, must stay.
This is the movie that gave you nightmares.
Dude, I'm telling you.
It may still, I don't know. I
does.
think it does. But yeah, that's the one. For me, Goonies.
Oh,
You slap Goonies on TV, I'm like, well, that's my day right there. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't make it to work. Goonies are on. They're like, yeah, I understand.
Dude, all right, we'll see you later. Hey, me and Connor, though, we will take and... This is so stupid. We will take and watch some things that afterwards we've invested our entire Saturday, and we're like, why did we just waste that day?
Oh, you like the marathon shows?
Dude, we watched Marathon Barbecue Cook-Off.
I remember you telling me that a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Dang, God, I couldn't believe that.
Now, I will say this, and this is a show that either people love or people hate.
What?
Impractical Jokers.
I hate it.
I love this show.
Connor loves it.
The first time I saw it, I was like,
I would kill
this is just
every one of my friends if they were remotely like that. I'd kill them.
The only things that I'm like, I would never do is when they do racial things, because every once in a while they'll do something that can be construed as racial. I don't like that. I don't agree with that. And occasionally they'll have something that's kind of sexist.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not very often. It's very, very rare.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'd be like, you know what? I take the loss. I'm not, no.
No. I'll tell you the other
and
one.
my friends would know we ain't going that direction.
Right. Well, I bet you like ridiculousness, too.
No.
Because Connor loves that.
I watched like one episode. This may be the dumbest thing. It's a clip show.
It's a clip show. Connor loves it, but all it is guys taking and getting their balls racked. Yeah. And I'm like, every time, I don't know if
that's kind of funny.
If you watch those, don't you just go like this? Oh, God. And live the moment with them? Like, I mean, it sends a shock down to my goodies.
Yeah.
I was just like, no. I can't do this. No. I can't do that.
Bill Paxton hated those kind of shows, too.
Nah, Bill Paxton. I'm sorry. We're off subject. See that segue? Professional right there.
There it is.
Bill Paxton, he also did stuff like the submarine. Mm-hmm. Was it U-571?
U-571.
U-53419.
And me and Laura were
Jenny,
talking about this.
call me. 8675.
I still have her number in my phone. She's yet to call back.
She won't.
I mean, since the 80s. I mean, it's been a long time.
She hates you, dude.
I'm thinking about kind of
let
moving
it go,
on.
Let it
That's
go.
why I'm still single to this day. I've been waiting for Jenny.
Dude, let it go.
I mean, dude, her parents named her twice, Jenny.
Didn't Phil Collins sing about Jenny, too?
I know, did he?
Or was that Billy, Don't You Lose My Number?
Yeah, Billy.
I
remember he had Susu, a studio.
I love that video, Billy, Don't You Lose My Number.
Bill Paxton was not in that.
Yes, he was. You didn't know that? Bill Paxton direct. Okay, no. I'm just...
Like, he almost had me. Almost.
Dude, I'm like that dog on Up. Yeah, I love... Squirrel!
That's a hilarious movie, by the way.
I've never seen it.
Right?
I haven't seen it.
It's a good movie.
I saw some fat kid with an old man. I was like, I don't want that old codger running around my kid. Get away from me.
Balloons in it. Lots of balloons.
Lots of balloons.
Lots and lots of balloons.
You ever heard of the Darwin Awards?
I won too. Why?
You can't have won one.
Hey,
let alone two.
You remember my near death? That was the first one.
Oh, dude. Yes, okay. I was like, he does know what it is. If you don't know what the Darwin Awards, it's given to somebody after they die, the most stupid death possible.
Yeah, stupid deaths. You watch
Bill Paxton one time tied all these balloons to a lawn chair. Okay, it wasn't Bill.
I've seen that. The one guy, he did that. He's got a BB gun.
Yes.
And he's strapped to it. He's seatbelted in.
That really happened.
Yeah,
though.
it really happened. And he ended up floating over through like, was it a military or no? It was like L.A. Air, where they
yeah.
And he was like shooting one at a time.
Damn.
It's like they thought he'd go up like 30 feet, 50 feet, and he just kept going.
Dude.
He got caught in the jet stream and he was gone.
They said that. I mean, that guy actually committed suicide.
Really?
His life fell apart after that because everybody knew him for that. He became like a park ranger or something just to get at like an isolation, and he just couldn't take it. And he just like.
Okay, the guy I would have expected to do that is the Ninja Kid.
Oh yeah.
He's stuff like half falling down.
Who knows if that guy? He might have killed himself.
He might
over
have.
that.
Unless he was the
Him and the Numa Numa.
That's about what I was about to, I was like, maybe he is the Numa Numa Kid.
You know what's funny? Connor even knows who the Numa Numa Kid is. He goes, yeah, that's that fat kid who sings that song. Dude, that's awesome.
I mean, the whole camera, everything's shaking.
That's good stuff.
That was, it's back when the internet was so much more lame.
It was cool though. That was like one of the first viral.
It was a better time.
Nah, I don't know if it was better, but it was fondly looked at. Bill Paxton, what else did he do real quick, and then we'll close up?
I don't know.
He did
well, he did like 7 different movies with Arnold. True Lies. He was in True Lies.
Oh, dude, he did great in True Lies. Forgot
That's
about
a great
that.
movie.
That's a good movie. Underappreciated, I think.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Arnold.
Oh, Jamie Lee.
Who was the daughter in that movie? Because she's become pretty big, I believe.
Really?
If they had some
Fat?
kind of a search, yeah, that's what happened. See, that was him. That wasn't me.
Dude, I love you.
It's Fat PH, yo.
Yeah, PHAT.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you guys something very important about life, about videos and stuff. Don't go to your search phone here. Don't do that.
See, once we get enough revenue generated from this, we'll actually have a guy off camera there, and we're going to take and have the whole thing decked out a little bit better than what you have with just this single Conor McGregor poster.
Eliza Dushku was the daughter.
Oh, yeah, 24.
Yeah, I remember her. Well, she's been in a ton of things, but yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Arnold, I forgot about him in that movie. One of the funniest scenes.
Remember when he was sitting there getting shot at and he checked his privates, make sure they didn't get shot off?
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'm good.
Well, and the scene where he's like dragging her out and he gets like kicked in the nether regions.
Ah, yeah. He's like, why am I always in the truck? I want to dance. I can dance. I don't want to be in the truck anymore.
There we go. But Bill Paxton,
rest in peace.
I mean, died from complication with surgery. I still haven't heard what kind of surgery or anything,
heart.
But was it?
It was heart.
Was it? And I know this is horrible to say.
From what I heard, he had a stroke on the table.
Really?
That's what I heard.
I've always said this: one of the funniest things a person can have is a murmur.
That's so wrong.
Because the word murmur.
You won't take and go racial jokes or
but I will go murmur
sexist,
jokes.
but you will talk about someone dying on the table.
No, murmur.
The word murderer. Try to say that. Murderer. Yeah, right.
Cinnamon.
Bananas. That's what. Oh, that reminds me. You know what me and Connor are watching right now? Really, really good. I could not believe I got him hooked on this. MASH.
He's hooked on that?
Yes.
Wow.
And I didn't.
Wow.
I was
he's not gonna be wearing a dress like Klinger, is he?
No, but he loves Klinger.
Not Radar.
Loves Radar. I think Radar's his favorite, and Hawkeye, of course.
Yeah.
But one of the first ones
rest in peace, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye didn't die.
What was that? The other one?
Trapper died.
Trapper died.
I mean, you about broke my heart right there, man.
That was Alan Alda played Hawkeye.
Yes.
Okay, I was saying he was the other guy.
No, yeah, Trapper John McIntyre was the one who just died.
Well, I didn't know was that his character's name on there too?
That's not his real name. I can't. Gosh.
No, I mean
Wayne Rogers was.
No, I meant was his character name on MASH.
Was Trapper John?
Was it?
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
Alan
and
Alda's.
Now you know.
Alan Alda's was Hawkeye Pierce, but the one who just died more recently from MASH's crew was Father Mulcahy.
Yeah, I remember
Rest
that.
in peace.
Yeah.
You know, if we're going.
He had his little glasses.
Jocularity. I love it. But he's into the MASH thing, so I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
So what do you think? First one in the back?
I'm liking it. Well, I guess we'll find out. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know.
And don't crack on us too hard. Next time I will do this. I'll get Troy to look at the camera a little bit more.
No. That looks like, honestly, your camera looks exactly like the thing that came out of the trash compactor water in Star Wars. Doesn't it? That little thing come up like that?
I'm not gonna say where I got that from.
Tatooine?
Maybe. It's called
Death
the
Star?
Death Star.
I'm sorry. I'll do better. This is my first time doing a podcast on camera.
Yeah, I've never been on camera. Oh wait, that was yesterday. I was just on camera.
You're on camera all the time.
I am on
You're
camera.
an old pro.
I'm
rookie status still.
Yeah. Well, anyway, again, let us know what you think. This is kind of the direction we want to keep going, and hopefully we'll have something better back here than this guy, because we don't plan on talking about him next week.
Yeah, but hey, just so you know, Daryl was really big on the idea of wanting to take and have a progression.
Mm-hmm.
We started out our martial arts school sometimes in backyards and basements and stuff. So this is our first foray.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. I mean, our first foray was just audio.
Right.
Now this is
our first video.
This is our next step. Before long, hopefully we'll be like midway up the steps. One day we'll make it to the top, trip, fall back down to the bottom.
Good. And I'll try to look at the camera more next time.
Yeah. Other than that, let us know.
Hey, that's good. That's
Anything
a good
else?
one. No, good.
Anything? No.
Dude, I'm
You
good.
guys have an incredible day.
See ya.